You know that feeling, right? When you have an experience that's so big, so important, that words just fail you. You try to explain it, but every word you use feels kind of cheap, like it doesn't do it justice. Well, today we're going to look at one man's incredible 54-year quest to solve that exact problem. And this is really the heart of it, isn't it? How do you label the indescribable? Think about it. A moment of pure joy, a deep connection with someone, a sudden flash of insight. What word do you use? And does it ever really truly capture what you felt? That's the puzzle we're getting into today. For writer Mitch Ditkoff, this question became a legitimate obsession. For 54 years, that's more than half a century, spent trying to find the single perfect word to describe just one person, an international speaker by the name of Prem Rawat. So let's go back to where it all started, 1971. A young 23-year-old Ditkoff has this profound experience listening to a speaker from India who's only 13 years old. He feels like it's completely life-changing. But how on earth is he supposed to explain that to his friends, to his family? The search for that one right word was officially on. Okay, so where do you even begin when you're trying to describe someone who you see as a source of incredible wisdom? Well, you naturally reach for those big, traditional, heavy-hitting titles. Let's see how that worked out for him. The first word he landed on was guru. And look at that definition. It's beautiful, right? The dispeller of darkness and revealer of light. If you're on a spiritual journey, that sounds pretty much perfect. But here's the problem. The word came with a ton of baggage. It's that classic gap between what something means to you and what it means to everyone else. To the author, guru felt spot on. But to his family and friends, it just conjured up all these stereotypes. Incense, robes, the whole bit. Instead of building a bridge of understanding, the word actually put up a wall. So guru was out. All right, so guru is off the table. What's next? He moves on to master. And this one seems a lot safer, doesn't it? We get it. There are master carpenters, master chefs. It's a word we all understand means someone is incredibly good at what they do. But once again, baggage. Even a word as common as master made people kind of uncomfortable. It brought up this idea of a hierarchy of power over people, which just didn't feel right. It didn't match the actual experience. And if a word makes people feel fearful, well, it's not the right word. So clearly, he needed something way less polarizing. And teacher seems like the perfect candidate. It's familiar, it's respected, it's pretty neutral. Come on, everybody's had a teacher. What could possibly go wrong with that? Well, it turns out everyone has had a teacher was the exact problem. Because for a lot of people, that word just brings back these memories of boring lectures, maybe a cranky professor, and way, way too much homework. So even this super safe word was already loaded with all these negative associations for people. And right around here, this quote from Prem Rawat really starts to shift the author's thinking. It's not about being in charge or having authority. It's about facilitation. It's just one source of light helping another one to shine. And that simple, powerful idea sent the search in a whole new direction. So this pushed him to basically ditch all those old authoritative titles. He started looking for words that were more modern, more about relationships, where the whole point was connection, not command. He tried guide, but that just felt a little, transactional. Like a tour guide who's kind of waiting for a tip at the end. Then he thought about friend. Now this felt closer. It captured that deep connection. But friend today can feel kind of casual, like lunches and texts. And it didn't quite fit the uniqueness of this relationship either. So how about something a bit more official? Global Ambassador of Peace. Sounds pretty impressive, right? And it definitely speaks to the worldwide nature of Prem Rawat's work. The issue? That word ambassador. It's just so tied up with politics and governments, and Rawat's whole message is non-political. So, another dead end. And finally, we get to peace educator. Now this one feels really promising, especially when you dig into its Latin root, educare, which means to bring out or to lead forth. And that perfectly captures that lit lamp idea. It's not about stuffing information into you, but bringing out the potential that's already in you. For a second there, it really seemed like the search might finally be over. But nope. The author realized his experience wasn't like sitting in a classroom. It was way more organic, more spontaneous, more alive. The word educator just felt too structured, too academic, too rigid to capture the living reality of it all. So after 54 years of trying, this is it. This is where he landed. 7 different words, 7 different attempts, and every single one of them was imperfect. Not one of them could really hold the weight of the actual experience. And this failure to find the perfect noun, it led to the biggest breakthrough of all. What if the entire goal was flawed from the very beginning? What if the problem wasn't the words themselves, but the whole idea of trying to find a single label in the first place? And then the key to the whole puzzle comes from Shakespeare, of all people. What's in a name? You can call a rose whatever you want. It's still gonna smell just as sweet. The label is not the thing itself. And that just unlocked everything. The author finally got it. He'd been so obsessed with the packaging, he was missing the gift inside. The words, guru, master, all of them. They're just pointers. They're descriptions. They aren't the actual thing. This leads to what might be the most powerful metaphor of all. That list of nouns, guru, master, teacher, that's just the menu. The real stuff, the thing that actually nourishes you, is the meal, the experience itself, the peace, the joy, the understanding. You don't eat the menu, right? It's really as simple as this. Think about water. When you're thirsty, do you really care if someone calls it H2O or aqua or water? Of course not. You just drink. The label is totally irrelevant when you need the real thing. And that brings it all the way back to you. After exploring this incredible 54-year quest, maybe the real question isn't what's the right word, but what's the experience? What is the meal in your own life? That feeling of love, that moment of pure creativity, that deep sense of peace that no menu, no single word could ever do justice to. Something to think about.